these are challenging times, and of course the GDP figures demonstrate that. They demonstrate actually a couple of things. One is part of the drop is because of the reduction in the COVID measures. But they also demonstrate actually is a real resilience in the private sector. Now that is a positive from these numbers. These are challenging times. Of course, we know that Putin is using gas prices as a tool to hit back at us for the support we're putting into the Ukraine. And my task is to get the £37 billion out of the door. We're midway through that. So in the next couple of months, families watching this today will get, the 8 million most vulnerable families will get £324 of help. Everyone will get a reduction of £400.
With respect to it, Chancellor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but those policies are out of date. The forecast has changed dramatically since those policies were announced. And the Bank of England laid it out very clearly last week. A sustained recession, inflation over 14%, rising unemployment, falling living standards, energy bills that could exceed £5,000 a year. Meanwhile, yourself and the Prime Minister have been effectively silent this summer, have refused to take action now. We have two candidates who took a long time to even acknowledge that more help would be needed. And a lot of British people now feel we are at the brink of an economic and human catastrophe, and the government is asleep at the wheel.
Well, I don't recognise that, because the moment I walked into the Treasury on the 5th of July, I gathered my leadership team and I said, right, where are we on the 37 billion? We are now midway through, so in the next couple of months,
but again,
families
those policies
will get...
are out of date,
But hold on a
Chancellor.
second.
We need to look forward, don't we?
I hear you. Hold on a second. In the next couple of months, every bill will drop by £400, right? The most vulnerable 8 million people will get £324. If you are disabled, you'll get another £150 by the end of the year. If you're a pensioner, you'll get £300 by the end of the year. So that's still to come.
It's still to come, but people want to know what else.
Hear me out for a second.
Yeah.
Hear me out for a second, right? That's still to come. Now, that was one part of my job. The second part, from the 5th of July, with my leadership team, I said, right, we've got to work up options, because Putin's going to continue to use gas prices as a tool to hit back at us for the help we're putting into the Ukraine. And by the way, he wants us to be divided. He wants to make this a domestic division in the UK, because we play into his hands on that. But what I said to my leadership team is work up the options of what we need to do to help people through the winter. So in December and January, we're working up those options. We're looking at what headroom we have to make sure we offer that additional support. My message to families today is we will have those options ready to go. Yesterday I met with the industry to look at what more we can do with the industry on direct debit, on prepayment meters, all the things that families are worried about. We're making sure we're doing the work, so on the 5th of September, the new Prime Minister can hit the ground running and get those things into place.
Lots of people will say, Chancellor, that the people of this country elected a Conservative party to govern this country. This crisis will not wait. Why should they wait until the 5th of September?
We're not waiting. We're not waiting. That's what I'm telling you. The 37 billion, we're only midway through. So in the next couple of months, we're going to see that reduction of £400 for every bill. We're going to see £324 for the 8 million most vulnerable. If you're a pensioner, you'll get another £300 by the end of the year. If you are disabled, you'll get another £150 by the end of the year. And we're making the preparation for additional help. That is my message to your viewers.
Can I ask, do you think, given your assessment of the situation, that direct grants to families this winter are now going to be inevitable?
So we're looking at
extra direct grants,
we're looking at all the options of what additional help we can deliver for families to get them through the winter. 37 billion is, you know, we're midway through that actual delivery. It's important, by the way. I was in Northern Ireland earlier in the week. The £400 is something that we have to deliver in Northern Ireland as well as in Wales and Scotland and in England. But of course, we've got to work through what more we can do, and I'm determined to do that work now so that it's ready to go. When the Prime Minister walks into number 10 on the 5th of September, they've got work that's already done for them to be able to make a decision.
The energy price cap, Chancellor, the original purpose of it was to protect consumers. What now is the point of it?
Well, as I said to you, it continues to help protect consumers, but the reason I brought the industry in yesterday was to look at, you know, where there is market failure, where can we help more that would actually bring the energy price gap down. There were material suggestions.
Is the setup fit for purpose? Surely it's not when we're looking at bills of over £5,000 a year.
Well, hold on a second. The reason the industry came in yesterday partly was to say, OK, what more can we do together if there is market failure for us to bring pressure down on the energy price cap? And there were material suggestions that we're working up now, ready for the new Prime Minister on that. So let me give you an example where there's market failure. If you are producing nuclear energy today from our legacy nuclear production, you're getting paid at gas prices because That's what it's pegged to. Now, that is clearly a failure of the system. We have to fix that. That helps actually lower the energy prices. It's those sort of material things that I'm working up right now, because I know that Putin will continue to use gas price as a tool in this battle. We mustn't allow him to win this, which is why my view is we have to come together collectively and get this right. We're putting 37 billion now. We will go further as we, of course, get through the winter to make sure those winter months, the help is there for those families, and that Prime Minister can make that decision on the 5th of September.
There are a lot of economists, finally, if you don't mind, there is a lot of economists who say that focus only on growth is not going to be adequate. We need to be radical solutions, windfall taxes, nationalisation potentially of the energy companies. Are those solutions on the table? Is a focus only on growth, as the candidate that you are backing is doing, disingenuous?
Well, focus on growth is important. Reversing the corporation tax rise will mean investment actually happens in the UK. We're sitting in Broughton in Airbus. They're making £100 million investment, 550 additional jobs. But looking at things like nationalisation, look at what's happened in France. They have a company that's been nationalised, EDF, but it's now suing the French government. There are no easy answers to this question. Every decision is a tough decision. I think the right thing to do is to make sure, one, we deliver that 37 billion, get that money for this winter into people's bank accounts, and then look at what additional help we can deliver with the industry, of course, looking at what more can we do to bear down on the price of energy. If the market is broken, we need to make sure we fix that quickly as well. So all that work has to happen. But the way you actually create employment and prosperity, the reason that we are resilient, by the way, GDP figures are difficult, but actually they demonstrate private sector resilience, is because we grow the economy. And Liz is right.